Have you ever eaten a fruit thinking it was a healthy choice, only to find out later it might actually be doing more harm than good? This is a surprising truth that many older adults face, often without knowing it. Today, we'll uncover 6 fruits that could pose serious health risks, especially if you're managing conditions like diabetes, kidney disease, or heart problems. But don't worry, we'll also explore how you can still enjoy fruits safely. Stick around until the end, because what you learn here could help you avoid dangerous complications and maintain your energy and health for years to come. Before we dive in, I'd appreciate it if you could give this video a thumbs up. It helps us share these important messages with more people. If you haven't subscribed yet, consider hitting that button and turning on notifications so you never miss an update. If you find this helpful, type 1 in the comments. If not, type 0. Your feedback helps me improve. Let's begin. 1. Star fruit. Let's talk about a fruit that's as eye-catching as it is misunderstood: star fruit. With its golden color, crisp texture, and tart sweet flavor, it looks like a refreshing tropical treat. It's the kind of thing you might come across at a local market and think, that looks healthy, I should try it. And to be fair, it seems like a smart choice, low in calories, full of vitamin C, and packed with antioxidants. But for older adults, especially those dealing with kidney issues, this bright little fruit can hide a serious risk. The danger lies in a compound called caramboxin. In a healthy body, the kidneys filter this toxin out efficiently. But as we age, kidney function naturally declines. When that happens, caramboxin can build up in the bloodstream and lead to serious complications. Take the story of Edward, a 72-year-old retiree from Tampa, Florida. Edward was always health conscious. She walked daily, watched his diet, and regularly visited his doctor. One day, he picked up a few star fruits at the market, thinking they were a fun, nutritious snack. He didn't know they could pose any danger, but shortly after eating them, he started feeling disoriented and weak. It turned out his kidneys couldn't handle the caramboxin, and he ended up in the hospital. Edward's story is a reminder that what seems like a healthy choice isn't always safe, especially as we get older. That's why it's so important to understand how different foods affect aging bodies. And remember, you can still enjoy fruit, but it's all about making informed choices and knowing what works best for your health. He had always taken pride in his healthy lifestyle, starting each day with a brisk walk, staying well hydrated, and sticking to a diet full of colorful vegetables and fresh fruits. So when he spotted star fruit at the grocery store one afternoon, he didn't hesitate to try it. It looked vibrant, unique, and seemed like a smart addition to his morning smoothies. For the first few days, everything felt normal. The taste was refreshing, and adding something new to his routine felt exciting. Then, the changes began. At first, Edward noticed a bit of dizziness, nothing alarming. Just a moment of imbalance when standing up. Then came forgetfulness. He found himself entering a room with no idea why, or struggling to recall simple words during conversation. He shrugged it off, thinking maybe he was dehydrated or just tired. But then came the overwhelming fatigue. It hit hard. He was suddenly too exhausted to carry out even the most basic tasks. One morning, he looked at the calendar and couldn't remember what day it was. Concerned, his family brought him to the emergency room. Doctors ran tests, scanned his brain, checked his blood, and reviewed his medical history. The diagnosis was startling: star fruit toxicity. Edward had been living with mild, undiagnosed kidney disease. He'd never experienced symptoms before, so he had no reason to be concerned. But the caramboxin in the star fruit had accumulated in his body, overwhelming his impaired kidneys and severely impacting his nervous system. This wasn't just a rare case, it was a stark warning. His experience mirrors many others. The National Kidney Foundation has cautioned that even a small portion of star fruit, just a few slices, can be dangerous, even life-threatening, for older adults with diminished kidney function. And according to the National Institute of Diabetes and Digestive and Kidney Diseases, 1 in 3 people over 65 has some form of kidney disease, many of whom don't even realize it. That's what makes this fruit so dangerous. Kidney disease often progresses silently, without clear symptoms, until something triggers a crisis. And star fruit, despite its innocent appearance, can be that trigger. To understand why, it helps to know how caramboxin affects the body. This toxin isn't just irritating, it's a neurotoxin. which means it disrupts the brain's ability to function normally. The early symptoms? Confusion and dizziness. As it interferes with brain signaling, you may feel foggy, disoriented, or off balance. And as your body fights the toxin, you may experience extreme fatigue, where even simple chores feel impossible. Memory lapses like the ones Edward experienced are just the beginning. Short-term memory can begin to fade, making ordinary days feel confusing and disjointed. In more severe situations, the effects of caramboxin intensify. The toxin can overstimulate the brain, leading to seizures, sudden, uncontrollable convulsions that are deeply distressing and potentially dangerous. In rare but serious cases, if the toxin continues to build up and remains untreated, it can lead to coma. This may sound extreme, but it's a condition well documented in medical research. But the threat doesn't stop at the brain. There's also the strain placed directly on the kidneys. When your kidneys can't clear caramboxin properly, the toxin becomes actively harmful. It doesn't just stay in the body quietly, it begins to cause damage. Research published in the Clinical Journal of the American Society of Nephrology confirms that starfruit can cause acute kidney injury, especially in those already living with reduced kidney function. What begins as a mild condition can quickly spiral into a critical emergency. So why do older adults still reach for starfruit? The appeal is understandable. With its striking shape, golden color, and tropical origin, starfruit feels like a refreshing alternative to the usual bananas or apples. Its sweet, crisp taste makes it an inviting addition to salads, smoothies, or as a simple snack. And to top it off, it's often promoted as a superfood full of vitamin C, antioxidants, and fiber. For seniors trying to eat healthier, it seems like an ideal choice. But for anyone with kidney concerns, that impression is dangerously misleading. Starfruit may look like a wellness booster, but it's a hidden threat. Fortunately, there are plenty of safer options that still bring the same tropical satisfaction. Asian pears are a great alternative, crisp, juicy, and rich in fiber and vitamin C, without the toxic risks. Dragon fruit, with its striking appearance and mild sweetness, is another excellent choice, packed with antioxidants and completely safe. Mangoes offer a lush, tropical flavor that's both delicious and kidney-friendly. And papayas, with their creamy texture and high levels of vitamin A and C, are a smart, soothing substitute. These fruits offer everything you're looking for: bright flavor, refreshing textures, and vibrant nutrition without the hidden dangers. In the end, food should energize you, not endanger you. Starfruit may seem like an innocent indulgence, but for many seniors, it's a gamble that isn't worth the risk. The symptoms, dizziness, memory loss, seizures, or worse, simply outweigh any benefits it might offer. So next time you see that star-shaped fruit shining on the shelf, take a moment to pause. Choose a safer path. Your kidney sand, your peace of mind will thank you. If you're still with me and finding this helpful, please comment 1 below so I know you're here. And if you haven't done so yet, feel free to subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss a new video. Your support helps us keep bringing you thoughtful, useful content. Now, let's continue. 2. Grapes. Let's take a closer look at a fruit you'll find in almost every kitchen: grapes. They're easy to grab, naturally sweet, and often seen as a guilt-free snack. From lunchboxes to fruit trays, grapes are everywhere. At first glance, they seem like the perfect treat: juicy, refreshing, and naturally packaged in bite-sized pieces. But for older adults, grapes may not be as harmless as they appear. In fact, there are 2 main reasons why seniors should approach grapes with caution: their effect on blood sugar and their unexpected risk as a choking hazard. Let's start with sugar. A single cup of grapes, roughly a handful, contains about 23 grams of sugar. That's roughly the same as 4 cubes of sugar or a small candy bar. And while this sugar is naturally occurring, that doesn't mean it's without consequence. For older adults, especially those with diabetes, prediabetes, or a history of blood sugar problems, this is something to take seriously. As we age, our metabolism slows down, and the body becomes less efficient at managing blood sugar. That means even a healthy-looking fruit like grapes can cause a sharp spike, leading to a rush of energy followed by a crash. Over time, these repeated sugar spikes can put strain on the heart, worsen insulin resistance, and increase the risk of long-term complications. Consider the case of Dorothy, a 68-year-old retiree living in Chicago. When her doctor warned her about rising blood sugar levels, she made a conscious choice to swap out her usual afternoon cookies for a bowl of red grapes. It's fruit, she thought. It has to be better than sweets. On the surface, it felt like a healthy decision, but the sugar in those grapes, though natural, still caused her blood sugar to surge and crash, leaving her feeling tired and irritable. Patricia had felt confident about her change trading in sugary cookies for something that felt clean, whole, and natural. But within a few weeks, things took an unexpected turn. She began waking up tired, even after a full night's rest. Her vision blurred in the afternoons, and after meals, she felt lightheaded symptoms she hadn't experienced in years. Curious and concerned, she pulled out her old blood sugar monitor. After snacking on her usual bowl of grapes, she tested herself. The result, 180 Brang, DL, much higher than her typical range of 100 to 120. Shaken, she made an appointment with her doctor. "I thought I was making a smart switch," she said. Her doctor reviewed her new routine and quickly identified the source grapes. Even though she had cut processed sugar, the natural sugar in grapes was still hitting her system too fast. And in some cases, natural sugars can be just as potent. Research from Harvard Medical School confirms this. Grapes, despite their fresh, natural appeal, have a high glycemic index. That means they can cause a quick rise in blood sugar faster even than some whole grain breads. And for seniors, whose bodies aren't as quick to manage those surges, this can quietly lead to complications. But blood sugar isn't the only concern. Grapes also pose a less obvious but equally serious risk: choking. As we age, the coordination of the muscles involved in swallowing tends to weaken. The reflexes that once worked instantly may not respond as quickly. Grappa smooth, round, and smaller, the perfect size to get lodged in the throat. Their slick skin makes them difficult to dislodge if they're swallowed whole or without being chewed properly. This isn't just theoretical. According to the National Safety Council, choking incidents involving grapes in older adults have increased by 30% over the last 5 years. It's a growing problem, one many seniors aren't even aware of. Imagine watching television and popping grapes into your mouth without thinking. One slips down too quickly. A younger person might be able to cough it out, but for an older adult, it could become a life-threatening emergency in seconds. So, should you stop eating grapes entirely? Not necessarily. If you enjoy them, you don't have to give them up, but you should eat them more carefully. One simple solution: slice them into quarters before eating. This reduces the risk of choking and helps with portion control, especially if you're keeping an eye on blood sugar levels. Slicing grapes into smaller pieces does more than just reduce the choking risk, it also slows down how quickly you eat them, giving your body more time to process the sugar. This one simple habit can make a big difference in both safety and blood sugar management. Another smart strategy? Pair grapes with a source of protein or healthy fat. A few cubes of cheese or a small handful of almonds can help slow digestion and balance out the natural sugars, preventing a rapid spike in blood glucose. And always be mindful of your portions. Try limiting yourself to just 6 small grapes, or about half a cup. That's usually enough to satisfy a craving without overwhelming your system. If you're open to exploring alternatives, there are plenty of senior-friendly fruits that are just as flavorful but come with fewer risks. Fresh berries like strawberries and blueberries are a great option. They're lower in sugar, full of antioxidants, and much easier to chew and digest. Melons are another fantastic choice. Watermelon, cantaloupe, and honeydew are naturally sweet, hydrating, and easy to cut into safe, manageable bites. The takeaway? Grapes might look like an innocent snack, but for older adults, they come with more risks than most people realize. Between their high natural sugar and choking potential, they're a perfect example of a food that requires a bit of caution. But with a few simple adjustments or by trying safer alternatives, you can still enjoy your favorite snacks without putting your health at risk. Healthy eating in your later years shouldn't mean giving up life's small pleasures. It just means being smart about how you enjoy them. If you're still watching and found this helpful, comment 2 below to let me know you're here. And if you haven't subscribed yet, be sure to do that now and turn on the bell so you don't miss future videos. Your support helps us keep creating thoughtful, helpful content just for you. Now, let's move on. 3. Oranges. Let's talk about one of the most popular fruits out there: juicy, sweet, and refreshing oranges. Known for their high vitamin C content and immune-boosting reputation, Oranges are often seen as a go-to for healthy eating. They're served at breakfast, added to salads, and sipped as fresh juice. But while they seem like the ideal fruit, there's a lesser-known side of oranges that older adults should be aware of, especially when it comes to acid reflux, medication interactions, and dental health. As we age, our bodies process citrus fruits differently than they once did. And for many seniors, oranges can trigger more harm than good. First, let's talk about acid reflux. That uncomfortable burning in your chest or throat after eating something acidic? That's a sign of GERD, gastroesophageal reflux disease. It affects over 60% of people over 60, according to the GERD Foundation. And citrus fruits like oranges are among the top triggers. Their high acid content can irritate the esophagus, especially in older adults whose digestive systems may already be more sensitive. This can lead to a variety of uncomfortable symptoms that go beyond a mild inconvenience. Many older adults experience persistent heartburn and indigestion after eating oranges, often described as a burning sensation that lingers for hours. Others notice throat irritation or a sore, scratchy feeling caused by repeated acid exposure. In some cases, acid reflux can even disrupt sleep, especially when it flares up at night and makes it difficult to rest. For many seniors, this discomfort becomes a daily challenge. And the cause may be hiding in something as simple as their morning orange. Margaret, a 73-year-old from Minnesota, dealt with heartburn for years and assumed it was just part of getting older. She tried all kinds of over-the-counter remedies, but nothing seemed to help until she stopped eating oranges. Almost immediately, her symptoms improved. What felt like a natural, healthy habit turned out to be the root of her digestive troubles. If you've been struggling with reflux, bloating, or frequent stomach upset, it might be time to reevaluate your daily citrus intake. But the risks don't stop at digestion. Oranges also present a lesser-known issue for older adults: medication interference. Many seniors rely on daily prescriptions for managing blood pressure, cholesterol, or mood. Yet according to experts, citrus fruits like oranges can actually interfere with how over 50 common medications are absorbed by the body. Compounds in citrus block certain enzymes needed to metabolize drugs, which means the medications may not work properly, leaving you vulnerable to health complications. Imagine taking your blood pressure pill every morning, thinking it's working, while the orange juice you drink alongside it is preventing your body from absorbing the full dose. Medications like atenolol, felodipine, simvastatin, and sertraline are all known to be affected by citrus. If you take any of these or similar prescriptions, it's worth having a conversation with your doctor about whether citrus fruits might be getting in the way of your treatment. Then there's the matter of dental health, another area where oranges can quietly do damage. As we age, the enamel that protects our teeth naturally becomes thinner. Acidic foods like oranges speed up this erosion, leaving teeth more sensitive and more prone to decay. You might notice discomfort when eating something hot, cold, or sweet. Over time, this acidity can also increase the risk of cavities and irritate your gums. For seniors who still enjoy citrus, all hope isn't lost. A few simple adjustments can go a long way. Drinking a glass of water after eating an orange helps rinse away leftover acid, and using a straw when drinking orange juice limits direct contact with your teeth. That said, the safest option for preserving your smile and your overall health is to cut back on acidic foods like oranges. Fortunately, you don't need oranges to meet your vitamin C needs. There are plenty of alternatives that are just as effective, but much gentler on the body. Take bell peppers, for example. They actually contain more vitamin C than oranges and come with far less acidity. Toss them into a salad, sauté them into a stir-fry, or enjoy them raw for a refreshing crunch. Kiwis are another great choice. Sweet and tangy, they deliver a strong dose of vitamin C without overwhelming your system. Strawberries, too, are low in acid and easy to add to oatmeal, yogurt, or enjoy by the handful. And don't forget about broccoli and Brussels sprouts, nutrient-dense vegetables that provide vitamin C along with a host of other health benefits. These options are easier on your stomach, safer for your teeth, and less likely to interfere with medications. That makes them an ideal fit for seniors who want to stay healthy without unnecessary risks. If you're someone who truly loves oranges and can't imagine giving them up entirely, the good news is you don't have tote, at least not completely. You just need to be mindful about how and when you eat them. Try having oranges in the middle of the day, when your digestive system is most active, instead of early morning or late at night. If you're taking medications, wait a couple of hours before eating citrus to minimize interaction. If you drink orange juice, dilute it with water to cut down on its acidity. And when possible, pair it with alkaline foods like bananas or avocados to help balance your body's pH. These simple adjustments can help, but they don't completely eliminate the risks. For older adults dealing with reflux, prescription routines, or sensitive teeth, it may be best to skip oranges altogether and lean on safer alternatives instead. Here's the bottom line. Oranges may carry the image of a wholesome, vitamin-rich fruit, but for seniors, they come with hidden downsides. From digestive discomfort and medication interference to dental erosion, the potential drawbacks can quickly outweigh the benefits. The key is awareness. By choosing your fruits wisely, you can protect your health and still enjoy flavorful, nutrient-rich options every day. So next time you're about to reach for an orange, take a moment to consider if a bell pepper or kiwi might serve you better. If you're still here and found this helpful, drop a comment with the number 3 to let me know you're watching. And if you haven't subscribed yet, now's a great time to do that, and turn on notifications so you won't miss out on future videos. Your support means the world. It's what helps us keep creating content to inform and inspire. Now, let's move on. 4. Avocados. Let's shift gears and look at a fruit that's earned a reputation as a nutritional powerhouse in recent years: avocados. With their rich, buttery texture and glowing reputation for heart-healthy fats, avocados have become a go-to favorite among health-conscious eaters. You'll find them spread over toast, blended into smoothies, or simply eaten with a spoon and a sprinkle of salt. They're often praised as a perfect addition to a nutritious diet packed with fiber, potassium, and those popular monounsaturated fats that support heart health. But here's where things get interesting. For older adults, avocados might not be quite the superfood they're made out to be. Despite their nutritional benefits, they come with some surprising downsides, particularly when it comes to weight gain, medication interactions, and unexpected allergic reactions. And yes, it's understandable to be skeptical. Aren't avocados supposed to be good for you? Absolutely, they have real perks. But like many things in health and nutrition, the details matter, especially as we age. Portion sizes, medication schedules, and how our body tolerates certain foods all become more important. Let's start with calories. A single medium avocado, about 150 grams without the pit, contains around 240 calories. That's the same ballpark as a fast food cheeseburger or a bowl of oatmeal with toppings. For someone younger with a fast metabolism, this might not matter much. But as we age, our metabolism slows and our daily calorie needs drop, often to around 1,600 to 2,000 calories depending on our activity level. That means one avocado could take up a significant portion of your daily intake, especially if you're adding it to other calorie-dense meals. Take Robert, a 75-year-old from Denver, as a real-life example. Inspired by all the talk around healthy eating, he swapped out his usual breakfast toast with butter and jam for what seemed like a smarter choice: avocado toast. Each morning, he'd mash half an avocado onto whole grain bread, drizzle it with olive oil, and sprinkle on some pepper. It felt like a wellness win. But after 3 months, Robert stepped on the scale and realized he'd gained 12 pounds. The extra weight didn't just affect his confidence, it added pressure to his knees and joints, which were already sensitive. He felt sluggish, tired, and slower in his day-to-day routines. During a routine checkup, he brought it up to his doctor, unsure what had changed. After reviewing Robert's eating habits, his doctor pointed to the avocado toast as the likely culprit. "You're packing a full meal's worth of calories into one small dish," he explained. "But your body doesn't need that much fuel anymore." It was a wake-up call. The American Heart Association shares similar advice, urging older adults to be mindful of portion sizes with high-fat foods, the healthy kinds like avocados. Because even good fats, when eaten in excess, can quietly add up. Beyond calories, there's another surprising concern: how avocados interact with medication. Many older adults are on daily prescriptions to manage chronic conditions, and what you eat can sometimes influence how well those drugs work. Avocados contain compounds like vitamin K and certain enzymes that can interfere with medication absorption or effectiveness. Consider blood thinners such as warfarin, commonly prescribed to prevent blood clots. Avocados are rich in vitamin K, which can reduce warfarin's ability to work properly, potentially increasing the risk of dangerous clots. Other medications, like blood pressure drugs or certain antidepressants, can also be affected. The healthy fats in avocados might slow or alter how these drugs are metabolized, resulting in inconsistent outcomes. What makes this more concerning is that these interactions aren't always obvious or well known. Unless you ask your doctor directly, "Could this avocado toast interfere with my meds?" you may never get a warning. And for seniors managing serious conditions like heart disease or depression, an unnoticed interaction could have real consequences. Imagine sticking to your medication routine, only to discover your lunch is quietly undermining it. If you're taking blood thinners, antihypertensives, or antidepressants, it's wise to check in with your doctor or pharmacist before making avocados a daily habit. There's also another issue many people overlook: new allergies. Avocados contain proteins similar to those found in latex, which can trigger reactions in people with latex sensitivity. This is called latex fruit syndrome, and it's more common than most people think, especially among older adults. Studies suggest that about 6% of seniors have some degree of latex sensitivity. And for them, avocados can cause itching, swelling in the mouth, throat discomfort, or even skin irritation after touching the fruit. And here's the twist: you don't have to be allergic your whole life to be at risk. As the immune system changes with age, new sensitivities can develop even to foods you've eaten for decades. Take Margaret, a 72-year-old from Phoenix. She used to love her weekly avocado salad. But one afternoon, after a usual lunch, she noticed her lips tingling and her throat feeling raw. At first, she assumed it was a seasoning in the dressing. But after it happened again, she saw an allergist. Turns out her mild latex allergy from years of gardening had crossed over. Avocados were now on her no-go list. This story is a good reminder that just because your body tolerated a food for years doesn't mean it will always do so. As we age, new sensitivities can develop, and what once was harmless may suddenly become problematic. So, does that mean you have to give up avocados completely? Not at all. If you love their creamy texture and flavor, you can still enjoy them safely by following some simple guidelines. First, keep your portions small. Limit yourself to about a quarter of an avocado a day, which is roughly 60 calories. This way, you get the taste without overwhelming your system. Second, never eat avocado alone. Pair it with protein like a boiled egg or fiber-rich vegetables to slow digestion and reduce the impact on your blood sugar and calories. Third, if you take blood thinners, blood pressure medications, or antidepressants, check with your doctor to make sure avocados won't interfere with your treatment. If you'd rather avoid the risks altogether, there are great alternatives that provide similar benefits without the downsides. Try drizzling a teaspoon of olive oil over your salad. That heart-healthy fat is easy to measure and won't mess with your meds. Or reach for a small handful of nuts like walnuts or almonds. They offer satisfying crunch, rich nutrients, and no hidden interactions. The takeaway here is that while avocados have earned their superfood status, for seniors they can be a case of too much of a good thing. From sneaky calorie overload to medication interference and late developing allergies, they demand a bit of caution. You don't have to ditch them entirely, just enjoy them mindfully. Keep portion sizes in check, and maybe have a quick chat with your doctor. If you're still watching and finding this useful, please comment 4 below to let me know you're here. And if you haven't subscribed yet, now's a great time to hit that button and turn on notifications so you don't miss any upcoming videos. Your support helps us keep making content designed just for you. Now, let's move on. 5. Watermelon. Next up, let's talk about watermelon, a fruit that's practically synonymous with summer. It's sweet, juicy, and mostly water, making it the perfect, refreshing treat on hot days. At first glance, watermelon seems like an ideal choice for seniors who want to stay hydrated and cool. But here's the catch. Watermelon can pose serious health risks for older adults, especially those with heart conditions, kidney disease, or diabetes. Let's take a closer look at why this summertime favorite might not be as safe as it looks and how seniors can still enjoy it without trouble. The first hidden danger of watermelon is its high water content, 92% water to be exact, which might seem like a hydration win. But for seniors, this can sometimes become a double-edged sword. As we get older, our kidneys become less efficient at processing fluids. Eating large amounts of watermelon can cause your body to retain excess water instead of flushing it out properly. This fluid retention can lead to swelling often noticeable in your ankles, hands, or face. It can also cause shortness of breath, as the extra fluid presses against your lungs, making it harder to breathe. Additionally, increased blood volume forces your heart to work harder, which can be dangerous if you already have heart problems. Take Betty, a 78-year-old from Arizona. She started enjoying watermelon every afternoon, thinking it was a healthy way to stay hydrated. But within days, her feet began to swell, and she felt unusually fatigued. One night, she woke up struggling to breathe and had to be hospitalized. Doctors found that the excess fluid from her watermelon habit had overwhelmed her heart. It was a stark reminder that even healthy foods can have hidden risks. If you're taking diuretics, commonly called water pills for conditions like heart failure or high blood pressure, extra caution is needed. These medications help your body remove excess fluid, but the high water content in watermelon can counteract their effect, potentially leading to dangerous complications. Another concern is watermelon's effect on blood sugar. Despite its light, refreshing taste, watermelon has a high glycemic index, meaning it can cause blood sugar to spike quickly, almost like drinking soda. The American Diabetes Association points out that just 2 cups of watermelon can raise blood sugar levels rapidly. For seniors with diabetes or pre-diabetes, this can trigger fatigue, dizziness, mood swings, and over time, worsen blood sugar control and increase the risk of heart disease. Even if you don't have diabetes, frequent spikes in blood sugar may contribute to insulin resistance, which is a stepping stone toward type 2 diabetes. So, watermelon's sweetness comes with a hidden cost. There's also the matter of potassium. Watermelon is rich in potassium, an important mineral for heart and muscle function. However, too much potassium can be dangerous for seniors with kidney problems. Aging kidneys may struggle to filter out excess potassium, causing it to build up in the blood, a condition called hyperkalemia. Symptoms include irregular heartbeats, muscle weakness, and in severe cases, heart failure. The National Kidney Foundation estimates that about 40% of adults over 65 have some degree of kidney dysfunction, often without symptoms. If your kidneys aren't working optimally, eating a lot of potassium-rich foods like watermelon might push them beyond their limits. If you love watermelon and don't want to give it up, here's how to enjoy it safely. Keep your portions small, stick to about half a cup per serving, to avoid overwhelming your system. To enjoy watermelon safely, pair it wisely. Eating it alongside protein like nuts or fiber-rich seeds can slow down sugar absorption and balance your meal. Timing matters too. Avoid watermelon late in the day to prevent fluid buildup overnight. Always listen to your body. If you notice swelling, shortness of breath, or fatigue after eating watermelon, it's a sign to cut back. If you're looking for hydration and sweetness without the risks, consider some safer alternatives. Cucumber slices in water are cooling and hydrating without adding sugar or potassium. Frozen berries offer a tasty, low glycemic option that won't spike your blood sugar. You can also add a splash of watermelon juice and fresh mint to water for flavor, capturing the essence of the fruit without consuming too much. The bottom line? Watermelon might seem like a guilt-free summer treat, but for seniors, especially those with heart, kidney, or blood sugar issue, it's a fruit to approach with caution. Moderation and mindfulness can help you enjoy it without compromising your health. If you're still watching and finding this information helpful, please comment 1 below to let me know you're here. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I encourage you to subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss any future videos. Your support keeps us creating valuable content just for you. Now, let's move on. 6. Papayas. Next, let's take a closer look at papayas, a tropical fruit often praised for its digestive benefits. Many seniors choose papayas hoping to improve gut health, reduce inflammation, and aid digestion. While papayas do offer some health perks, there's another side to this fruit that's not often discussed. For seniors, especially those on medications or with sensitive stomachs, papayas can cause serious health concerns. One major worry is how papayas interact with medications commonly prescribed to older adults. The U.S. Food and Drug Administration, FDA, has noted that papayas can interfere with how certain drugs are absorbed and metabolized, including blood thinners, diabetes medications, and antibiotics. This interaction happens because papayas contain an enzyme called papain, which can alter the way your body processes these medications. For instance, if you take blood thinners like warfarin, Eating papayas regularly may increase the risk of bleeding by amplifying the drug's effects. That can be dangerous, especially for people with clotting disorders. Similarly, papayas can cause a significant drop in blood sugar when combined with diabetes medication, leading to dizziness, confusion, weakness, or even fainting. Take Helen, a 71-year-old woman from San Diego. She started eating papayas daily after hearing about their digestive benefits. However, after a few weeks, Helen began to notice that her blood pressure medication wasn't working as well as it used to. Concerned, she visited her doctor and discussed her diet. When she mentioned that she had been eating papayas regularly, the doctor immediately suspected a drug-food interaction. Once Helen stopped eating papayas, her blood pressure returned to normal. This story highlights why seniors need to be mindful of how the foods they consume might interact with their medications. What seems like a healthy choice could end up causing serious complications. Another lesser-known risk of papayas is their connection to latex allergies. Many people who are sensitive to latex also find that they react to papayas because the fruit contains proteins similar to those in latex. For seniors with latex allergies, eating papayas can trigger symptoms like skin rashes, itching, and swelling in the mouth. In severe cases, it can even cause difficulty breathing, which can be life-threatening. What makes this especially concerning is that latex allergies can develop later in life, even if you've eaten papayas in the past without any problems. So, just because you've tolerated papayas before doesn't guarantee you won't have a reaction as you age. It's always smart to stay cautious and pay attention to any changes in how your body responds to certain foods. Papayas are also well known for their digestive enzyme, papain, which helps break down proteins and supports digestion. While this can be helpful for some, it might cause trouble for seniors. Many older adults have sensitive stomachs, and papaya's strong digestive effects can irritate the stomach lining, leading to symptoms like bloating, gas, acid reflux, or stomach cramps. If you've ever felt discomfort after eating papaya, it could be a sign your digestive system is having trouble handling it, especially if you have conditions like irritable bowel syndrome or acid reflux, which papain can aggravate. If you're looking to support your digestion without the risks, there are safer alternatives. Plain yogurt or kefir are excellent choices because they're rich in probiotics that promote gut health. Ginger tea is another natural remedy that can soothe the stomach, and fermented vegetables like sauerkraut or kimchi provide beneficial bacteria that help digestion. If you still want to enjoy papaya, here are a few precautions to minimize risks. Never eat papaya on an empty stomach, as this increases the chance of irritation. And if you're on medications for blood pressure, blood thinning, or diabetes, talk to your doctor or pharmacist before adding papayas to your diet. Start with a small portion, just a few bites, and monitor your body's response carefully. If you notice symptoms like dizziness, stomach discomfort, or unusual fatigue after eating papaya, it's a clear sign that this fruit might not be the best choice for you. Now that we've covered these 6 fruits, I'd love to hear from you. What's one thing that surprised you today? Drop a comment below and share one change you plan to make based on what you've learned. Whether it's swapping out a fruit or simply being more mindful about your choices, your feedback inspires me to keep creating content that truly matters to you. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a comment. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. It's a simple way to support us and help others find these valuable health tips. Thanks so much for watching. Stay healthy, and I'll see you in the next video.